it is time for Florida Weekly.
Yeah, Eric Raditz is joining us from his office. Hey, Eric. This morning you're talking to us about It's going. You're talking to us about an interesting topic this morning, making bail. What's up with that?
Well, have you ever been that person who's gotten that call in the middle of the night from maybe a family member or a coworker who has been arrested and is asking you for help making bail? Or have you been that person making that call? And you don't have to answer that as a rhetorical question. Either way, this week we give the in on getting out of jail. So for those unfamiliar with arrests and what happens next, we sit down with the experts, with bail bonds agencies, and find out the pros and cons of paying the bail outright or getting a bail bond. For companies that offer bonds, we find out how it works in the business, the responsibilities and stories behind what goes down, and we find out and report on just what it all means. And knowing your options can make a big difference if you or someone you know is ever in that need.
Yeah, something that you hope you don't have to know, but good to know your options, like you said. All right. The pandemic has really changed a lot of businesses, but in your business section, you guys are kind of highlighting maybe why some business owners are reluctant to change, even when perhaps they should.
Right, so all businesses are going through different variations and varieties of change. Some are dramatic, some are more subtle. However, we look at the importance of embracing change during this time with tips on how businesses can stay focused on finding different and incentive approaches to pay forward despite its external circumstances. Many are making the change and finding some success, but some don't want to change at all, and that has not worked in their behalf.
Definitely a tough time for a lot of businesses. In your arts and entertainment section, you're highlighting a really talented singer-songwriter who is actually right here in our area now in Naples.
Yeah, we like to take a look at local artists and those in the entertainment industry. And this particular musician, Marie Knopfsinger, grew up in Massachusetts, moved to Delray Beach, and then eventually Naples, where she lives now. She's a bit of an outlaw singer and a hit on the Island Hoppers festivals in town. We sit down with her and find out her influences, her need to color outside of the lines, and what she's up to during this quarantine.
Well, speaking of entertainment, the Broadway Palm Dinner Theater is, I believe, opening today with a Dean Martin show that I'm sure you're going to tell us about. I also want to know what you're watching right now, what you're streaming during the pandemic, Eric.
I appreciate you asking. Yeah, and I'm excited about the Broadway Palm. In fact, I went over there and they've got the social distance tables so you can feel kind of safe. And you got the taking your temperature at the door. And I am looking forward to seeing the Dean Martin Variety Tour. There's plenty of things to do. Always pick us up for stuff in the arts and entertainment this week, including farmers markets, Beatle tribute bands downtown, musical brunches, gallery opens, with still some virtual stuff. And to answer what I'm watching now lately, I'll be honest, I've been doing more kids stuff. So Muppets Now, I think I watched last night. But I'm a nerd and a family guy. So what are you watching, Nate? I mean, do tell me. And
right now, I'm still working my way through Aaron Sorkin's The West Wing, which if you haven't seen at home, it's a very well-written show. I highly recommend it. Eric Raditz, thank you so much for joining the show. Always a pleasure seeing you. Stay safe and keep enjoying the Muppets there at home.
Thanks, Eric.